Okay, we got quite the minutes on this one. It's very funny because this is the problem with geniuses, and I've been reading about 103 people who I deem to be interesting people, from Pavlov, who who was this is a very funny story, who had a Nobel Prize because of his work on digestion. You can look it up. This is hilarious. And he literally was surviving on bread and tea. Yeah, the guy had Nobel Prize in digestion. Reminds me of that joke that a man survived the survived the plane crash, and he was the sole survivor. And after a week in his lab, he he was literally he was dead, sliding on a banana peel or something, So that's the hilarity of the whole thing. And even there is this guy, I don't remember his name, but this guy had researched on your contradictions. That it's called cognitive dissonance guy. And he literally said if you have two visions of your inner vision and your external reality, you either tilt towards one or you're undecided until your results concretely become your life. And his experiment would be on people who would be paid very little amount of money for a very shitty work, and the same work would be paid to another group, to the control group, with a more amount of money. The less amount of money they were paid, because the gap and the cognitive dissonance between the impact of the money and the deserving of the impact of the work and deserving of the money was just widening. They actually, the people who were paid less found their work more impactful, because that's your mental gap closing. That yeah, of course I'm doing phenomenal job, because if not, I'm paying for shit for this, and if the work is shit and the pay is shit, I'm literally wasting my life. So your mind convinces you that sure, you're getting paid for shit amount, but the leverage is that the work itself is quite impactful. And this guy literally fucking died smoking cigarettes, and he was convinced that he literally told his like he died out of cancer of liver, I think, and he convinced other people that make sure everyone knows it wasn't because I smoked. Some people literally live their assigned calling or something. And for me, has always been like a quite conundrum with what you call genius, what you call smart, because everyone wants to be smart, everyone wants to be a genius, but the phenomenal thing is not everyone is, because if everyone was a genius, the genius itself as a mantle, as a kind of description, would lose its weight, because scarcity is the attraction of being a genius. Actual geniuses in the history have not been recognized as a genius in their time, because of course everyone is gonna call MR.Beast is a genius, because now he has the metrics of your kind of money, success, early age, and everything as a genius. But in reality, he's not a genius, because geniuses are so ahead of their time that people don't even fucking catch it. And it doesn't even differ with the day and age we are now, with internet, with everything. Publishers fucking still have fucking word count for gatekeeping stories. How the fuck do you word gatekeep a story? I still like it's still beyond me. Some publishers tell me, hey, add 50 words, cancel like or cut like 500 words, as if it's literally I'm fucking editing a human condition. Bitch, I'm literally like every single word has a purpose. And you literally tell me, oh, this is not marketable. And funny enough, I know more marketing than all of these motherfuckers combined. But the whole fucking thing is that whenever you see actual like people who were geniuses in their own time that would be discovered later, you look at your Picassos, Einsteins, everyone else. Even I don't consider that, but people consider fucking Kafka and Van Gogh in this lane. But when you look at this, 25 years old Kafka was a nobody. 25 years old Van Gogh was starving to death. 25 years old Picasso was stealing bread, you know? And the only reason that I consider Picasso a genius is still because he caught up to his own kind of genius with his time. It's that he suffocated his surroundings and he force fed his genius to the world. He had 50,000 art pieces, and the world was literally everywhere they would look, they would see fucking Picasso's painting. And of course they caught up because that's that's the genius of Picasso, because he didn't wait for one or two or three art pieces. He said, okay, I'm gonna die painting my own world, or I'm gonna change painting my own reality. And the fucking funny thing about the whole thing is that I started writing when I was 8 years old, and I've been writing for like 5 to 10 hours a day, every single day. It's not even commitment, it's literally like breathing to me. One day I don't write, I'm fucking suffocating because the writing is my eyes. And even these fucking like bestsellers or whatever, people who are literally appreciating my writing, fucking this fucking guy Clancy Martin emailed me and said uh, sent me this fucking Dostoevsky's Underground uh, notes from Underground, highlighting the self-awareness, the fucking self-deprecation, and the pattern recognition and everything. And he was literally saying you cannot deny similarities at like fucking 3 a.m. my time. I don't know what it was his time. He's in fucking US, I'm in Europe. So, and I noticed that even this guy doesn't fucking understand writing, because sure, he can be suicidal championship belt holder with 15 attempts at suicide and two bestsellers, but when a fucking established writer tells you, hey, don't stop writing, he doesn't even fucking understand that you don't write because you feel like it. Writing is my eyes. I cannot literally close my eyes and live. A blind person sees. A blind person sees with his touch or other senses. Everyone has eyes to see the world, to connect and to make sense of the world. And even in kind of biology aspect of it is as well. You don't actually see the world. This is quite shocking. Yes, light hits your eyes, and there is this retina or something. Chemical reaction is happening in your eyes that you reflect. This is how the movies and stuff like were made and invented, because they literally reflect the picture and run the pictures after one another. So your eyes literally are reflecting the light, interpreting the reflection of a light and the images outside, and then giving you an image of that interpretation to your brain. It's literally, there are three kind of uh, in like 6 milliseconds this happens, that light hits your eyes, and you process the depth, the shape, and the third one would be the form, the interpretation of shape and depth together, and it sends it to your brain to interpret, okay, whatever the fuck I'm seeing outside, you know? So literally, everyone has a means to see the world. But the fucking thing about the whole thing is that when you call a writer, a established writer, calls you, don't stop writing, he doesn't fucking understand writing. I don't give a shit about his accolades or anything. And the funny thing is, I even noticed that it's not even like, okay, you are a 2 times bestseller, then you become a 2 times bestseller. No, you are a 2 times bestseller at birth, and then you fix the latency in the external world. Fucking Picasso was starving to death, and he was calling everyone he's a genius, and he pushed and forced his genius onto the world because he decided to be so. And that's even in neuroscience kind of basis. It's literally shifts your neural structure towards your desired identity and the congruency of your self-image, because no one exceeds their self-image. That they say life surprises you, life whatever. No, life surprises you because you have buried your self-image so deep within yourself that you are surprised that self-image is actually turning into reality rather than not. Because in my personal experience, when no bestseller was calling me fucking comparing me to Dostoevsky and sending me, you cannot deny the similarities and everything, I remember I was 13 years old and I read this interesting poem in my native language, which is Persian. And I found that poem quite interesting, so deeply that I decided that was my poem. And I owned that poem, although it wasn't my poem at all. And I told everyone, and funny enough, now I'm literally seeing the comparison with Picasso telling everyone, yeah, I'm fucking stumbling on my words. My mind is working faster than my actual fucking brain. My actual fucking tongue. But yeah. So I literally said to everyone I knew, and even this has psychological backing, that I forced this false identity on myself that I am a guy who writes that kind of poem. And something magnificent happened. After 2 or 3 weeks, I started actually writing better than that poem. And I diluted myself to the extent that, yeah, when I'm reading Kafka when I was 16, I was reading Metamorphosis, I really found Kafka a shitty writer because his premise was nice for alienation and making visceral with insect, hated by his family and everything because he would be tossed around and he was just his job and his income for his family, and other than that he was just this despicable insect. Sure, I found the premise quite nice, but every other aspect of writing was non-existent. And I was seeing this at 16 years old, having written by then 8 years old of writing pieces myself. And I noticed, okay, why am I feeling like this about Kafka? Am I so fucking insecure that, sure, that could be my mind playing tricks on me, that because I cannot write to that level, I'm doing this insecurity kind of bias of myself that I say, okay, I shit on Kafka because I cannot be Kafka. And something marvelous happened because I started believing that identity that Kafka was a shitty writer. And to prove that and to be congruent to that identity, I literally started writing better. And this is fascinating because I turned 18 years old and I was writing pieces that would shit on Kafka objectively, from structure of storytelling, the layering of thematics, the symphony of sonic sounding words of like every syllable would have a purpose, and that purpose would be reflected in the structure of each word. And I noticed, okay, I'm just tipping the scale towards my favor. That yeah, I am better than Kafka. Next up is fucking Dostoevsky. Anyone else I respect? Okay, I respect Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment because the depth of my guy literally birthed three of the most prominent psychology and philosophies ruling the world even today. Übermensch of Nietzsche through Raskolnikov's character, and the other one would be the sex relationship with your identity that fucking Freud heralded years later. All of that was stemmed in Raskolnikov's psychological journey by Dostoevsky. And to my surprise, I just found out motherfucker wrote Crime and Punishment and The Gambler in a one freestyle session. Yeah, that motherfucker was like crazy. But and I thought, okay, I'm still closing the gap to Dostoevsky, but I'm not there, objectively looking at the depth of psychological depth of things and stuff like that. But that bothered me because my inner belief was since I was 8 years old, I always believed that I am the best writer in history. And there isn't even a competition because my own emotional depth and understanding of philosophy and my ravenous information gathering in psychology, in languages, in everything throughout the years have just built me towards this exceptional and phenomenal writer. Even every step of my existence have been pushing me towards being and becoming a better writer. I pursued law. I got 2 master degrees to deepen my analytical thinking. I pursued 5 or 7 languages to add the nuance of emotional weight associated with each word in every single language, which is a new paradigm of meaning. And my hobbies as reading mythology, fucking Shakespeare, other authors, poetry, and even my own inheritance that I'm literally a fucking Iranian person that was bred and born in Shahnameh, in Rumi, in Hafiz, in Sadi, in fucking Sohrawardi, in all of these fucking... It's literally my whole seed was seeded in this belief that, okay, this guy has to be born, bred, and raised to become this exceptional writer that is culmination of everything this world has ever offered. In psychology, in philosophy, in analytical thinking, in emotional depth, in the bridging the gap of cultural nuances through languages, through my own personal journey that from little kind of city in Zanjan near Tehran, near the fucking capital, I went to the let's say the birthplace of literature, which is Shiraz, the birthplace of Hafiz, Sadi, and whoever the fuck who was literally representing the Persian literature. And on top of all that, I studied law because for whatever the reason I was drawn to that. Not psychology because I was already pursuing that as a hobby, not as a hobby, not even fucking languages because I was already drawn to this analytical thinking level of pattern matching languages with each other. And on top of all that, I studied law. I studied law and then I started gathering more languages. Started with French at 17. After that, COVID hit, which was fantastic for me. So I focused my mental energy on learning Spanish. Then that led to me reading Kant, Gabriel Marquez, which is one of my favorite authors. And on top of that, then I pursued German. And voila, I'm 1.5 years in the Netherlands. And all of these kind of steps are leading me towards becoming a better and better and better and better writer. That now that I'm writing pieces, I'm the other day I sent this piece to my mentor that the the piece is like so layered that if you are thinking about every single layer actively and with active conscious understanding of the layers, you are lost in them. But because that layering is just every layer has been instinct for me throughout the years, 17 years of obsessive writing, that I've written like 17,000 pieces by the age I'm 25. All those layers are just so natural to me. Every single word and word choice is just instinct. And sometimes I literally go back and read my writing for enhance it or even typo check because English is not my first language. I still have dictation kind of lagging, and I write so fast that my mind literally is thinking of the next scenario rather than fact checking. Okay, is this dictation correct? Is this fucking the right word choice or not? Sometimes I just read back and say, why the fuck did I choose this word? And it takes me like 5 to 10 minutes to see, oh, this has the sonic kind of symphony with this word that represents and deepens this sense of messaging because that word has been rehearsed in my mind for 17 years and I understand that word better than every fucking native could ever do because I have experimented and I have honed this skill towards every single piece I've written. And even now that I woke up one day and I decided to read on geniuses and big people, so to say. And I noticed that, oh, this shit is actually fascinating because I'm actually in the age, the psychological and the physical age, that your body starts declining. 25 is the actual age your body physically and mentally starts declining, but it's so slow that you catch up to it at 35, 40. But this is actually the peak adult age that you start being an adult and you become an adult in psychology, in physical, and everything. And I noticed that this is very interesting because I'm facing all of these, this kind of, let's call it, financial, mental, and existential difficulties at this specific age that my writing is becoming so ridiculously layered and so deep that I'm just noticing, okay, my hobbies are changing. Even me, like, having like spent the past year, I've been doing my master's here in fucking elaborative kind of university, Leiden University. I noticed that, okay, everything hindering my actual writing is just falling away. My relationships, my even comfort zone, and even like my some random shit like my 1 year old channel literally just copyright strike because I was just paying too much attention to that gaming side of the channel to kind of invest on it instead of actual writing. Sure, I write 6 to 10 hours a day, but apparently that's not enough, you know? And I noticed that, okay, what is all of this telling to me? Because all of this has a reason, and this is not bullshit like a self-help version of, oh, you suffer for a reason, so you soothe your mind to this sense of direction and purpose. No, this actually has like quite a simple like logic behind it. Because imagine fucking sunlight hits you every single day at this exact time. It's literally traveling every single day, every single second, millions of years and light years to be that precise. In a universe that fucking precise, that your literally body's functionality are so precise that you have multiple like sciences, pattern recognition, your body, your health, your everything. You say someone's hobbies, someone's identity, someone's belief, someone's habits, all of these are random. It couldn't be, because it just makes no sense in a total structure that everything has a law. And yeah, funny enough, I studied law. Everything is functioning based on a general rule. Suddenly I'm having like financial problems or financial like difficulties or whatever. Picasso was fucking 25 years old stealing bread and turned like 50 or 60 years old charging 20K for a picture on the back of a napkin. I literally wake up one day and say, okay, I wanna study great people on a whim. Yeah, all of it is random. You know, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, it's just so fascinating to me that it just how you process things. Because I never would have even dreamed when I was like 17 years old. Because how I remember this, I was 17 years old and I was teaching English to people like 30 years old or 28 years old. And I was in not even Tehran, not even Shiraz. I was in a little city called Zanjan. And I was just saying, okay, where my life is gonna go. At best, I'm gonna go to yeah, Shiraz and become a lawyer in Shiraz, live there and till I die. Here I am in rank top 100 universities of my niche, and I have graduated that like it was a fucking walk in the park. And now I'm realizing, okay, I got 2 masters in law. I got all of these talents, and funny enough, all of it is just fueling one thing, that I was born to be a writer. And suddenly, now that I'm aligning my identity with external kind of actions and hobbies I'm taking to studying other successful people, geniuses, and everything, and being more of a writer every single day, some random writer, some bestseller, literally emails me and says, "You are a born writer," out of nowhere. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You know, if you look at it, it's just, how the fuck a 17 years old me would even know there are these bestsellers that would email me, you are like you cannot deny the similarities with Dostoevsky. I wouldn't even know who the fuck Dostoevsky was at 17 years old. I read Crime and Punishment when I was 18 years old. My first book I read other than like literature or poetry of my own language would be like at 15 years old I would read this fucking trials thing by Kafka, and then be infatuated with George Orwell's 1984, and Animal Farm, and all of these built on one another. And who would think, okay, having read all of these people, I'm literally shitting on all of these in actual psychological depth, structure of writing, story layering, and everything. That's even the other day, one of these writers read one of my pieces that I was time shifting behind in between four timelines. It was present timeline of me talking about this three timelined story of a myth, a self kind of elaborative world I was talking about, and layering that with the past experience of my own kind of past self. So it was like three layers of storytelling in a story that I was telling in a present tense, layering it with my past own experience. And I was literally tying a psychological thriller with storytelling of three different timelines of a dynasty, of a fucking Shakespearean Hamlet meets fucking Macbeth story of patricide or kingdom or whatever. And all of that while going in and out with my own past experience of a date I had or whatever. And all of this was like bleeding into each other and representing one idea. And one of these writers literally messaged me and said, Shakespeare who? Literally, and it was like so fucking fascinating that I was like, okay, of course this is it. Because everything and every single layer of storytelling I've honed and I've experimented with is just becoming instinct. Now that I literally start writing, it's just ideas just come to me. It's not literally, I'm not even like trying to write. I'm just writing because that's just my identity. But yeah, that's that's a video, and I don't know why the fuck I even started recording this video. Maybe I'm just maybe this is another calling of the inner voice of me saying, hey, record this 32 minutes video for your future fans, and let it sit at 1 or 0 views for now, for 10 years, for 20, 30 years, and in 40 years when people are literally researching your identity and how the fuck this writer became 20 times bestseller, they're gonna see, okay, this guy actually said he was a genius at 25, and he became externally that kind of a genius, and we were just blind to it all the time. But yeah, that's a video. Until the next one.